Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here is today's question. How do you balance work and life when you're always thinking about tasks and constantly feeling like you need to be on? I love this question. First, I'd like to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. I've talked about them for years. You probably know their features by heart, but what really sets them apart is that they genuinely care about your experience. It's not just about troubleshooting, they actively implement user suggested features like their new AI notes and automated client payments. Everybody at Therapy Notes believes in the product and they want you to love it too. Plus, they're independently owned, which means no venture capital and no pressure to prioritize investors over you. This independence allows them to keep their prices fair, to focus on innovation, and to prioritize customer experience. With over 100,000 therapists already on board, they've proven you don't need to have to compromise success for quality. If you're ready to see for yourself, try Therapy Notes free for 2 months with code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com. All right. So this is a big question. It's something that many of us, especially the entrepreneurial world, wrestle with every single day. It's really easy to get lost in the endless cycle of tasks and emails and to-dos. But I want to dive into how we can navigate this and find better balance because it is not about working 24/7. So I want you to take a second to think about this. Do you remember when you were in school and there was this incredibly specific feeling that you couldn't relax until every single assignment was completed, like it was holiday break or something? Like, if I don't finish my work, I can't let myself fully unwind. Guess what? That's entrepreneurship. Like, that is, I can't relax until everything is done, follows us into businesses, but it is a trap. And I'll be the first to admit that I have fallen into it more times than I'd like to count. So, for example, when you're at the dinner table with your family, everything's going well, and then suddenly, bam, you realize you didn't respond to an email, or you're about to fall asleep, and all of a sudden your brain is like, did I send that invoice? We have all been there. So here's the thing. It is so tempting in those moments to just pull out your phone and handle it. You think it's just going to take like less than 5 minutes. I'll just knock it out really quick, and then I can be really present and relaxed afterwards, which seems legitimate, but it's those 5 minutes aren't just 5 minutes. They are a violation of your boundaries. They're a violation of your priorities. And I get you might be like, Allison, it's just 5 minutes. What's the harm? Let me explain. I know you didn't start your business just to make money. Most of us, at least the ones who really want to be in this for the long haul, we started because we wanted freedom. We wanted time for ourselves, for the people we love. But if you don't set boundaries around what and how you engage with your work, you're going to lose that freedom that you set out to create. Think about it. When you're constantly answering emails during dinner or you're dealing with work issues right before bed, it's like your business is constantly intruding into your personal space. And that might not seem like a small thing at first, but over time, it starts to eat away at your ability to really enjoy those moments with your family or your friends or just being by yourself. So, I'm going to share a bit of a personal story. When I first started my business, I was obsessed with checking off my to-do list. I thought the only way I could earn relaxation was if I cleared everything. Once I finish this project, I can relax. Once I respond to these emails, I can book a massage. Once I finish this task, I'll take a break. Probably sounds familiar. I was in constant hustle mode. I kept thinking that self-care and relaxation would only be okay once all the work was done. And guess what happened? I was exhausted. My brain was fried. My relationships, especially with my family, started to suffer. I started to realize that this pattern was not sustainable. It wasn't just about work, it was about the mindset that was driving it. I was in a constant state of anxiety. I was waiting for the right moment to relax, but those moments never came. My to-do list always grew, and I kept waiting for magical moments when everything was done so I could finally take a break. Here's the problem with that. There will never be a perfect time. You could work 24/7 and still never be done, and that's what hit me hard. I had to get comfortable with the discomfort of not finishing everything and still allowing myself to take a break. It is not easy, but it's been a game changer. So let's get practical. What can you do to start managing this better? How can you avoid getting stuck in this cycle of constant work intrusion? Here's what I've started doing. I want to challenge you to try these strategies too. First, I want you to take email off your phone. It's a really big one. If you're constantly checking your emails on your phone, you're inviting work into your personal life 24/7. So here's what I recommend. Remove your email from your phone. If you don't want those, if you don't see those emails, you're less likely to act on them when you're supposed to be taking time off. Number two, I know it's really tempting to have everything at your fingertips, but those work-related apps, whether it's your practice management tool, your client portal, anything else, that can really distract you during your off hours. So consider keeping those apps only on your work computer or device and making sure they're not on your personal phone. You could leave your phone in another room. Um, Put it on do not disturb. Resist the urge to check it every 30 seconds. And when you're with your family or you're taking time for yourself, really make that time sacred. You can also use an app that blocks apps. That's what I do. I use an app called Freedom, and it blocks my access to my work apps after 5 p.m. When you're at work, you can set aside intentional times for breaks, whether that's to chat with a colleague, to take a walk, to just like scroll the internet for a little bit. These breaks really help you stay fresh and focused, but be sure to stick to your work during your work hours and don't let personal tasks slip in then because then you don't get your stuff done. And lastly, practice letting go. There's a mindset shift that has been huge for me. Start practicing letting go of the idea that you can or you should finish everything. A lot of the time, things can wait until tomorrow. So learn to be really comfortable with unfinished tasks. Know the ones that are a priority to get done every day. Make sure those get done. The others can wait. Step away from your work, even if it means leaving things undone. So I want to emphasize that burnout is real. It's ugly. If you're not careful, all this constant work can chip away at your health, at your relationships, at your overall happiness. None of us are in this for the short term. We are in it for the long game, and that means protecting our energy, staying present, maintaining our boundaries, and not just for the benefit of our business, but for our personal lives too. This profession is beautiful. It is an honor to do the work we do, but we cannot pretend that being on the clock 24/7 is sustainable. It's not. If we want to do this for the long haul, we have to get practiced at setting those boundaries and sticking to them. So, if you are looking for some practical steps to help you start setting those boundaries right now, DM me the word sheets and I will send you this week's free worksheet. It is top 10 things you can do to regain balance, along with links to all the other previous free worksheets also. So let's work together to make sure you're not just thriving in your business, but thriving in your life too. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week.